Staying in a marriage that makes you miserable, or walking away and starting over, which is the right choice? And is divorce really the answer, or is there something else you haven't considered? Hey, I'm Michael Flynn, and welcome to Relationship Reset Academy. I've spent over 10 years helping couples navigate the toughest relationship challenges, and today, we're tackling one of the most difficult questions of all. Is it better to divorce than stay in an unhappy marriage? Most people think it's a simple choice, either you stay and suffer, or you leave and find happiness. But the truth? It's way more complicated than that. And if you make the wrong decision, you could end up with even more regrets. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to figure out whether your marriage is worth saving or if it's time to move on, for good. And trust me, this isn't the advice you've heard a million times before. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the best relationship-saving tips. Now, let's get into it. Is it better to divorce than stay in an unhappy marriage? The hard truth. Let's get real. Marriage isn't always sunshine and romantic getaways. Sometimes, it's arguments over the dishes, long stretches of silence, and feeling like you're living with a stranger instead of a partner. So, the big question: is it better to divorce than stay in an unhappy marriage? Well, that depends on one thing: what kind of unhappy are you? Because let's be honest, every marriage goes through rough patches. There's a difference between a relationship that's struggling but still has potential and one that's completely draining the life out of you with no hope in sight. So how do you know the difference? Let's break it down. Signs your marriage is struggling, but worth saving. Let's be honest, when a marriage feels hard, it's tempting to think, maybe this just isn't working anymore. But before you make any decisions, let's talk about something important. Not all unhappy marriages are doomed. Some just need serious attention and effort to get back on track. If you're feeling frustrated, disconnected, or even questioning your future together, it doesn't automatically mean your marriage is over. The key is figuring out whether the unhappiness is temporary and fixable, or a sign of something deeper. And yes, that can be tricky when emotions are running high. So, how do you know if your marriage still has a chance? One of the biggest signs is that, deep down, you still care. Even if you're frustrated with each other, even if there are days when you don't even like each other, there's still a part of you that doesn't want to walk away. Maybe you still picture a future together. Maybe you find yourself hoping things will get better. That's not something to ignore. When a marriage is truly over, that sense of care disappears. Indifference replaces frustration. The thought of leaving doesn't hurt anymore, it just feels like relief. If that's not where you are yet, your marriage might still be worth fighting for. Another sign is that communication, even if it's tense, still exists. Yes, maybe you argue a lot. Maybe it feels like you're always at odds. But if both of you are still talking, whether it's about the problems or about life in general, there's something left to work with. Silence is what kills a marriage, not disagreements. As long as there's a willingness to talk, even if it's not perfect, there's room for change. Now, let's talk about the problems themselves. Every marriage has them, but the real question is, are the issues you're facing fixable? Struggles with money, parenting, intimacy, or even recurring arguments about the same old things, these can feel exhausting, but they don't necessarily mean a marriage is broken beyond repair. These are the kinds of issues that, with effort, change, and the right tools, can be worked through. It might take time, and it might take uncomfortable conversations, but they don't have to mean the end. But what about bigger problems, like emotional disconnection? Here's something most people don't realize: losing that spark doesn't always mean a relationship is over. Passion fades in every long-term relationship. That deep connection? It gets buried under responsibilities, stress, and the demands of everyday life. But here's the good news: just like it faded, it can also be reignited. Couples can go from feeling like strangers to rediscovering that closeness again. It's not instant, and it takes effort, but it's possible. The final thing to consider is whether there's still mutual respect. Even if you're angry, even if you've said things you regret, there's a difference between a marriage filled with arguments and one filled with contempt. If you can still acknowledge each other's worth, even in difficult moments, that's a sign there's still something solid underneath all the frustration. When a marriage is truly over, respect is often the first thing to go. So if you see yourself in these signs, if there's still some level of care, if you're still talking, if the problems seem fixable, and if there's still respect, then your marriage isn't necessarily over. It may just need work. And if you want real strategies to revive a struggling marriage, I highly recommend checking out romancedictionary.com/marriage. You'll find resources that can help you rebuild connection, improve communication, and bring back what feels lost. Because sometimes, an unhappy marriage isn't a broken one, it's just one that needs to be reset. The link is in the pop-up here and in the description below. Signs your marriage might be over. Now, let's talk about the other side, when staying together is doing more harm than good. If these sound familiar, divorce might be the better option. 1. You feel completely alone, even when they're right next to you. 2. You've lost all respect for each other, constant criticism, resentment, or even indifference. 3. The same toxic cycles repeat, no matter how many times you start fresh. The same problems return. 4. You're staying for fear, not love, fear of judgment, financial stress, or just not wanting to be alone. Here's the truth. A marriage that kills your spirit is worse than being alone. If every day feels like a battle you can't win, it's okay to step away. What divorce won't fix. Now, let's talk about what divorce won't do, because a lot of people think that leaving is an instant solution. It's not. 1. It won't fix the patterns you bring into relationships. If you have unhealed wounds, jumping into a new relationship won't magically make them disappear. You might just repeat the same cycle with someone else. 2. It won't guarantee happiness. Leaving a toxic marriage can be freeing, but it's also hard. Emotionally, financially, even socially. A clean break isn't always as clean as people think. 3. It won't make love easy. Love, real love, takes effort no matter who you're with. If your expectations of marriage were built on fairy tales, you might end up disappointed whether you stay or go. That's why, before making a decision, it's important to get clear on what you really need and want. And if you need help with that, check out romancedictionary.com/marriage. It's got the tools to help you figure out what's next. The link is in the pop-up here and in the description below. So, should you stay or go? Here's the truth. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. But if you're completely miserable and nothing is changing? If resentment has replaced love? If you've already mentally checked out? Then forcing yourself to stay might do more harm than good. But if there's still something there, if you see even the smallest chance to rebuild, then it might be worth fighting for. Just make sure you're fighting for happiness, not just fighting to avoid change. If this video helped, let me know in the comments. Are you leaning towards staying and working on it, or do you feel like it's time to move on? I want to hear your thoughts. Before you go, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and check out the link in the description. And don't miss the next video I've got for you. It might be exactly what you need right now. See you there.